I saved the pharmacy receipt from a town we have never been to. So my wife Dana does the laundry, always has, and I do the coats. It's a dumb little split we've had for 9 years. Winter coats, my job, twice a season. So I'm going through pockets before the dry cleaner run, and in the inside pocket of her gray wool coat, there's a folded pharmacy receipt. A CVS in a town called Millbrook. We've never been to Millbrook. It's an hour and 40 minutes north, past nothing we'd ever drive to. I stood in the mudroom holding it for probably a full minute. I didn't say anything that night. I don't know why. I just refolded it and put it in my desk drawer. The receipt was mostly cut off, faded, the way they get. I could read the date, October 9th, and I could read the store, and I could read that the total was $61.40. The item lines were smudged to nothing. That was the part that kept me up. $61 at a pharmacy an hour and 40 minutes from our house on a Tuesday. She told me she spent running around, nothing exciting. So the next week I start paying attention, not snooping, just noticing. And once you notice, you can't stop. She started taking her phone into the bathroom. She'd been getting lunch with Priya a lot, and Priya moved to Denver in the spring. Little stuff. Stuff you'd never see if you weren't already holding a receipt from Millbrook. I asked her once, casual, doing the dishes. I said, hey, you ever been up to Millbrook? Guy at work was talking about a brewery up there. She didn't even blink. She said, where's that? I said, north, like past Coldwater. She said, never heard of it, and kept scrolling. That was the moment my stomach dropped, honestly, because I was holding a receipt that put her there. I went back to the drawer that night and looked at it under my phone flashlight, held it at an angle, and in the smudge, real faint, I could make out the top of a word on the item line. It started with PRE. That's all I got. PRE. I told myself 100 things it could be. Prescription. Pretzels. They sell snacks. Prednisone. I actually Googled pharmacy items that start with pre. I know how that sounds. The thing is, 3 years ago I had a vasectomy. We were done, 2 kids, we agreed, I did the whole thing. She held my hand at the follow-up, so I couldn't sleep, and around 1 a.m. I did the thing I swore I wouldn't. I called the pharmacy the next morning on my lunch break, said I was calling about a pickup for my wife, gave her name and birthday, said we'd lost the paperwork. The woman was so nice about it. She said, oh yes, we have that on file. The prenatal vitamins and the folic acid, that was filled the 9th. Do you need a refill setup? I said no thanks, and I sat in my truck in the parking lot for 45 minutes. Prenatal vitamins, filled under Dana's name and her birthday, in a town we've never been to, an hour and 40 minutes away, so nobody at our pharmacy, nobody who knows us would ever see it. I didn't confront her. I want to be honest that I thought about it for 11 days. I moved the receipt to my wallet. I checked our account and found a hotel charge in Coldwater from a weekend she said she went to her sister's. I checked with her sister without checking with her sister. I just texted, thanks again for having Dana that weekend. She had a great time, and her sister wrote back, she didn't come up, everything okay. So I stopped guessing. We have this thing every October. Her whole family does a big Sunday dinner at our place. Her parents, her sister, the works. Dana loves hosting it. She'd been planning the menu for 2 weeks. I told her it sounded great. I told her I'd handle drinks. Sunday everybody's around the table. Her mom's talking, her dad's carving. Dana's glowing. Honestly, she loves this. Her mom at one point goes, Dana honey, you're not drinking your wine? And Dana laughs and says, just not feeling it tonight. And I said, that's probably smart. With the baby. The table did this thing where it just stopped. Her sister looked at Dana. Her mom said, baby, all confused, smiling, ready to be happy. Dana said, what are you talking about? I took the receipt out of my wallet and set it on the table next to her plate. I said, Millbrook CVS, October 9th. Prenatal vitamins and folic acid. Under your name. I said, I had a vasectomy 3 years ago, Dana. You held my hand. Nobody moved. Her dad put the knife down. She said, it's not, you don't understand. I can explain. It's not what it. I stood up and said, then explain it to them. I already called the pharmacy. I already talked to your sister. I already know you weren't in Coldwater with her. I picked up my keys. Her mom was saying her name. Her dad hadn't said one word. She said, where are you going? We need to talk about this. Sit down, I said. I saved the receipt so I'd have it when you told me I was crazy. So here it is. You're the one hosting. Go ahead and host. I'm at my brother's now. The receipt's in a Ziploc in my bag. She's called 19 times.